Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Saturday evening. Well, it's Saturday night here in the Northeast, but we'll call it a Saturday evening, because it's not, past 7, 8 o'clock. So, Saturday evening, December the 6th, 2025. Thank you for watching video number 2 on your Saturday evening. Video number 2, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So do it now, subscribe to this channel, and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like. You don't have to, but if you want to, don't leave stupid comments. You know where you're going to go. To your room, then sent down to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your fucking soul. You won't be heard from again. You want to do that, go on your dead fucking channel. Bore yourself to death, because nobody cares. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. And follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to slap, well, slap it too. Tap and slap and that bell. And turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do miss any of my videos, you do need to get slapped. Because you ignoramus, you fat fuck, you whatever. Anybody who misses my videos, you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what it means, I might just slap you again. But I don't know. But you need to get slapped again. Because that's that. Because if you can't understand how to use the bell correctly, then you should not be on YouTube. Should not be on the internet, basically. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, share the video, and all that other good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice tasty can of Pepsi, or whatever you're going to drink. Just be responsible and know when to say when. That's that. So, grab yourself a nice tasty cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, too bad. Because you're going to watch anyway. That's that. Alright, really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we got NXT Deadline coming your way in a little bit, about 25 minutes from now. Should be a great show. I already did my predictions on the Shadows Lair 2.0 channel, episode 96. Link will be down below in the gobbledygook. And that's that. Alright, before we get to NXT Deadline, really quickly, it is time, right here on the Peter Joseph channel, for your official Ring of Honor Final Battle 2025 review for last night, because we had a lot to talk about last night. We'll talk about SmackDown after the pay-per-view, and then we'll talk about Deadline tomorrow, along with Collision and Dynamite. So, we got a lot this weekend, so you have to hit that bell, because you miss any of my videos from this weekend and earlier this week. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, so Final Battle is finally in the books. The WrestleMania of Ring of Honor, the final pay-per-view of the year. And looking at the card, it didn't look great. But, Tony Khan somehow finds magic in certain matches. Some matches were actually pretty good. Overall, not great, but, decent for what it was. No, I think Tony Khan just wanted to throw some shit on the wall to see if it sticks. Some did, some didn't. So, it was a kind of like, meh, pay-per-view. Not like the past Final Battles we've seen. But that's that. Alright, so we are emanating from the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio. Another shithole. Ohio sucks as it is. Especially Cleveland. So, anyway, so biggest show of the year. Card was set up in advance. Yeah, right. We still had to wait for the finals of the Women's Pure Title Tournament, which didn't get really kicked into gear until pretty much November. We had the finals the semifinals this past week. We got Deonna Purrazzo and my girl Billie Starkz going at it. Athena's taking on Persephone for the world title. Bandito is in a survival of the fittest match for the world title. Tag team titles are vacant. That every popular guy named Vacant, he has the tag team belts. We got that 6-man tag team belts on the line. So basically, Final Battle is like Clash of Champions. All the championships on the line, except for the Ring of Honor World TV title for the men and the Pure title for the men as well. So we'll talk about that 30-minute Iron Man match with Nigel McGuinness, we love, and Lee Moriarty. Surprisingly, that was not for the title. I didn't get that at all, but okay, we go on. Alright, so we started with the pre-show, and really quickly, we got the Premier Athletes with Smart Mark Sterling, and Story Donati. They're on ringside to see their men, basically. That's Premier Athlete Tony Nese and Ari Daivari take on the Outrunners. That's Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, who's still following me on X and Instagram. Love you guys. Not like that, but, you know, you're my buddies. But anyway, they had a boring as fuck tag team match on the pre-show. 9-minute match. Back and forth they went. Story Donati gets involved. Even Mark Sterling gets involved. But that didn't stop the Outrunners from coming back. Ari Daivari gets a near fall on the Magic Carpet ride, complete with carpet. And then the Outrunners get all fired up. They do the Mega Powers Elbow, brother. Then they hit Total Recall, 1, 2, 3, to beat the Premier Athletes in a little over 9 minutes. There you go. There you go, right then and there. Alright, match number 2 on the show. We go to the Day-Days. We have the Battle of the Baddies, basically. Layla Gray of Skyflight. She takes on the Ring of Honor debut of good friend of mine, Zeta Steele, who used to be in WWE, the ID program. She was also on Evolve in the Vanity Project with Jackson Drake and those other 2 guys. So Zeta makes her debut. And there were some glitches in this match, and Zeta came out. Her theme song, her theme music glitched. She's like, I don't care, I don't need music to look good. Pretty much. And then during the match, it was on YouTube, and the feed cut out. That's bad fucking production. Bad production. So we only get a little bit of the match. But in the end, Zeta did a little bit good stuff. Hopefully, Tony Khan signs her, permanently to Ring of Honor, and maybe you see her on the main roster, but who knows. Zeta hits a Tornado DDT, only for Layla Gray to roll through into Angel's Wings, taught to her by Christopher Daniels, a fallen angel. 1, 2, 3, she gets the win in 6.5 minutes. Well, at least a good first impression to us Ring of Honor fans, if you haven't seen Zeta Steele. That's that. Alright, moving along. Match number 3. This was a great match. Ace Austin, Too Sweet Me for the Love of God, former member of the Bullet Club, takes on Lee Johnson, one half of the Swirl. Great match for 9.5 minutes. Back and forth they went. We get to the end. Ace tries for the fold, gets caught with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and you're not Sami Zayn, you get 2. And then his half and half suplex drops Ace again, but Ace escapes a power bomb, and then the pop-up version of that drops Ace for a near fall, but he kicks Lee Johnson right in the face, then he finishes him off with the fold. 1, 2, 3 to get the win. And, he was talking about his good buddy, Blake Christian, so they may be feuding pretty soon on Ring of Honor TV, and we'll see what happens with that. But great match there. The match of the pre-show. Pretty much, it was. Alright, match number 4 on the pre-show with Jon Moxley on commentary. We have the Death Riders of William Yuta, the man who fears himself, and the Dancing Fool, Danny Garcia. They take on the grizzled young veterans, Drake and Gibson. Decent match for 10 minutes, but you thought the grizzled young veterans were going to win? No. We get near the end, and William Yuta takes Drake out. Big splash to Gibson, sets up the Dragon Tamer. But they get the ropes. Gibson knocks both of them down. Gets the hot tag to Drake. And almost hits a coast-to-coast missile dropkick for a near fall. Kind of hit it, kind of didn't hit it on William Yuta. The guy that boxes a lot. To get a near fall on William Yuta, Moxley gets all fired up. It's like, this is quick shit! Pretty much. And then Drake gets sent to the outside. A chop block cuts James Gibson down. And then William Yuta hits the Buzaiku knee. 1, 2, 3. The Death Riders get the win. And I was not a happy camper. But that's that. Alright, so that's the pre-show. Alright, we get to the main show. We start the main show properly with an opening video talking about how things have changed in the last year. Not much. There's nothing, not much has changed from last year to this year. Not much. But anyway. Alright, then we start off with the Women's Pure Title Tournament Finals, where we get a little recap of the tournament. 8 months after it was announced, basically around Supercard, it was announced, and then finally, the finals are here. So we got Deonna Purrazzo, La Virtuosa, taking on my girl, Billie Starkz, Athena's minion, and pretty good match to start the show. And in the end, Deonna Purrazzo is the new and inaugural Women's Pure Champion. They use a lot of their rope breaks, but in the end, Deonna locked in the Venus de Milo. That was it. And we move on with that. So, good first match with the ladies, and congrats to Deonna Purrazzo, the inaugural Women's Pure Champion. And we move on with that. Alright, let me take a sippy sip, and we'll get my notes back in order in just a second. That should be it. Alright. Alright, now alright, let's see here. You understand? Alright, got my notes back. We're good. Alright, so, like I said, Deonna reversed a swanton into the Venus de Milo to get the win in under 14 minutes. So, Deonna is the new inaugural Women's Pure Champion. I think I pretty much said it from the start of the tournament. It could be her or Billie Starkz. So, now we'll see what happens with Deonna, as her first opponent is going to be the one and only Queen Amanada. She comes out, they have a little stare down, and that's pretty much it. Match number 2, we get a recap of Nigel McGuinness versus Lee Moriarty last year at Final Battle for the Pure title, which was epic. Lee Moriarty won in sudden death. Then McGuinness beat him in a 4-way match earlier this year. So they're not at 1 in their trilogy, and now it's a 30-minute Iron Man match. Why? Not for the title, I don't know. But anyway, we get to the match. Match was great. back and forth they went. The time limit expired. With them tied at, I believe, 4. Yeah, they were tied at 4. With a 30-minute time limit, obviously. Shane Taylor punched McGinnis out. And somehow Lee Moriarty got the pin with 1 second left. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And then the time expired. But hold on. Nigel goes to leave, and then Lee Moriarty says, hey, you get back in here. We're not done yet. I want sudden death. So Nigel was like, all right, sunshine. Goes back in. Rolls up Lee Moriarty with a handful of underwear for a near fall. Then a sunset flip for a near fall. Then he trade roll-ups for a near fall. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it works so well that they do it again. The fans are going completely berserk. And then it finally ends with Lee Moriarty grabbing a European clutch. 1, 2, 3. And overall, 34 minutes and 8 seconds. Lee Moriarty gets the win. He beats Nigel 2 matches to 1. I don't know if there's going to be another match. I mean, we'll have to see. But great match. I think this was match of the night. And that's it. Then after the match, Nigel gives Lee Moriarty his old Pure title, which I thought was great and a show of respect. So Nigel gives him the belt, he bows down, and then Lee Moriarty bows down. You know, they do the whole, I'm not worthy! And then they shake hands, code of honor, you'll love to see that, and we move on. So, Lee Moriarty's going on another year with the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. I don't know who's going to beat him, so we'll have to see. That's that. Alright, then Jon Moxley grabs the mic, give me the fucking mic, talks about the Don Callis family, says those guys thinking they're owed something, but he was raised and fortified by Ohio tap water, probably dirty tap water, and he says if Takeshita, who he's facing tonight at Collision in the Blue League, wants to make any ground in the tournament, he's going to have to take it from him. That should be a hard-hitting match tonight, live on Collision, but I'm not watching it, so I'm watching a replay, so get that. Alright, match number 3 for the Ring of Honor Women's TV title. We had the CEO, Mercedes Moné, taking on Red Velvet from Your Mama's Kitchen. Alright, Mercedes won it a couple weeks ago. Red Velvet trying to get it back for the second time. And we'll see what happens with that. So, we go under 14 minutes, get near the end. We get a super tombstone, gets counted to a flipping face plant, right into the final slice, giving Red Velvet a near fall. Thought she was about to win it. And she's like, ah! Can't believe she didn't get the kick out. Should have been 3, ref. But anyway, Mercedes comes back with the for the Moneymaker, gets counted to a face plant for a near fall. And then Red Velvet kicks her in the head. Another near fall. Mercedes gets the Statement Maker. But then that gets broken up with some kicks off the ropes. And then Red Velvet with an inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. A shocking victory. Finally, somebody beats Mercedes Moné. The second time she's been pinned this year. The first one was Toni Storm at All In. But Red Velvet has done it. She beats Mercedes Moné. And bye-bye to one of your belts. Now Mercedes has 12 belts. So I think the downfall of Mercedes Moné is going downhill right now. So, and then tonight she's going to defend the TBS title against Layla Gray. Obviously she's going to retain that. But I think come 2020, maybe at World's End, she might lose another title. That'll be 11, maybe 10, who knows. And then by next year, by the middle of next year, all those belts she has will go bye-bye. And she'll be beltless. And she'll cry even more. And I'm glad. And that's that. But it was a pretty good match for what it was. Not great, but good. Alright, after the match, Red Velvet is drilled, and we see Mercedes is pissed. Oh, we got that. Alright, then we go to match number 4 for the vacant Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. the Facción de Ignobles, that's the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, and the Beast, Mortos. They take on Adam Priest and Dynamite Kid Jr., Tommy Billington. Now, it's supposed to be Rush and Sammy Guevara, but Rush got injured. That's why he was gonna do double duty and face Bandito for the Ring of Honor title, which got changed into a Survival of the Fittest match. But anyway, this was an okay match, but in the end, Sammy Guevara and the Beast, Mortos, get the win after Hechicero comes out, shoves Adam Priest off the top, and then the Beast, Mortos, hits a corkscrew moonsault on Tommy Billington. 1, 2, 3, so once again, for the second time, technically the second time, the Facción, the LFI, basically, the Facción Ignoble get back the gold, and we'll see what happens with them, and we move on from that. Good match, not great, but good. Alright, match number 5, under 10 minutes. Eddie Kingston takes on Josh the Goods Woods with Smart Mark Sterling at ringside. Pretty good match, we're getting to the end. Kingston fires also those karate chops, like he's Piston Honda from Street Fighter. Because caught in an armbar, that gets broken up, and then Eddie fires off some headbutts in the corner. Ow. And he staggers, he's like, oh shit, I should have done that. Staggers himself, but he's able to superplex Josh Woods down for a near fall. Then a rolling chaos theory gives Josh a near fall. Eddie grabs the rope. To get back up, Eddie grabs a German suplex to drop Josh Woods, which allows Eddie to shout about Samoa Joe, who he's facing this Wednesday night on the program, Winter is Coming. Then he hits a basic DDT. 1, 2, 3, Eddie Kingston gets the win in under 10 minutes. Not a great match, but, cool down match. And that's pretty much it. And then afterwards, Code of Honor, which from those two is strange, but still. A Code of Honor, you'd love to see it. Alright, then we go to the 6-man tag team titles. We got Shane Taylor Promotions of the big man Shane Taylor and the Infantry, Dante Bravo, and the Captain, Sean Dean, defending against Skyflight. That's Scorpio Sky, Darius, and Dante Martin of Top Flight. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that Ian Rickaboy and my good buddy, the Pastor, Caprice Coleman, at ringside with the call. So, sorry, Caprice, I usually do it before doing my results, but I made up for it. Alright, this was a pretty good match. I thought we're going to maybe get a title change here with these two teams going back at it. Trish Adora got involved. Layla Gray gets involved. They have a cat fight after, Layla takes off her stinky shoes. They get a big old cat fight. And then the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, comes out, hits Angel Wings on Anthony, don't wake me up before you are go-go. And then everything breaks down. Shane Taylor knocks Darius Martin the fuck out with a big right hand, and then gives Sean Dean, pins him, that's it. 11.5 minutes exactly, so Shane Taylor Promotions gets the win to retain the 6-man tag team titles. There you go. But, nice to see Layla Gray and Trish Adora with a cat fight! You love that. We move on. Alright, then we're going to recap of how Ricochet won the national title at Full Gear, and his first defense is against Dalton, the Peacock, Dalton Castle with the boys. He's had 2 matches this week to get ready. You have basically 6-man tag team matches. And blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this was a pretty fun match. 15 minutes exactly, just about. Ricochet goes after one of the boys, takes him out. He laid him out. Crazy. But we get to the end, and Ricochet escapes the Bangarang, grabs a standing sliced bread number 2 for a near fall. And then some big flippy doo off the top miss for Ricochet. No water in the pool for you, sir. Then they fight over suplexes onto and back back off the apron. Ow. Dalton manages to drop him on the apron. Ow. Then the Bangarang back inside for a very near fall. And then Ricochet gets sent outside. And then he throws another one of the boys at Dalton. And that leads to Ricochet hitting the spinning gun. 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in his first defense. Obviously, he was not going to lose it in the first defense, so there you go. Alright, so Ricochet gets the win and retains the national title. And that's it. Alright, after that, we go to the Survival of the Fittest match. 6-way match. Bandito defending against Blake Christian, Sammy Guevara, the Beast Mortos, Hichiro, and the Ring of Honor TV champion Commander. And rules of a Survival of the Fittest match is elimination rules. Last 2 men in the ring, they fight, and the winner gets the belt, obviously. No tags, so they can come in at any time they want. So it got down. Whoop, I almost pressed one button. So it comes down to Bandito and Hichiro. This is for the 3rd time, mind you. Blake Christian jumps Bandito. He injures his shoulder, Bandito's shoulder, and then the medics have to come out. I'm like, oh great. They're gonna give Hichiro the belt. Excuse me. They check on Bandito before Hichiro sends the shoulder into the corner for more damage. Then a backdrop sends Bandito on the apron. Ow. Then he lands on the steps. Ow. Hichiro whipping his ass. And then Hichiro's slingshot dive hit the steps. Ow. Bandito's running suicide dive takes Hichiro out. Again, but he's backed up with a rather spinning roll-up. Interesting. For a near fall. Then he goes for the electric chair. Well, it didn't have any, juice in it. And it gets countered into a poison Rana. And then a small package. 1, 2, 3. Bandito ese pero. Bang! He retains the Ring of Honor title in under 28 minutes. Pretty damn good match right there. So those are a few good matches. And, most of the card was pretty good. Some good matches, some great matches. But, so, what are you going to do? Alright, then we go to back, where we see a rather psychotic-looking Mercedes Moné. She's pissed off about losing the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship to Red Velvet. And then Lady Grey comes in and say, I'm a baddie, you're a baddie, I want to become the next TBS champion. And then Mercedes freaks out, and then we find out the match is happening tonight. And that's pretty much it. So, Mercedes is, going into period mode. And that's that. Then we end the night with the Women's Championship, the Forever Championship. Athena defending against the number 1 contender, Persephone. Athena's just done it all. She's the female Roman Reigns right now. Getting close to 1,100 days as champ. Getting close to 3, almost 4 years as champ right now. Nobody can beat her. She's lapped pretty much everything. And it was pretty good. Persephone got this close to winning. But in the end, Athena gets the win with the O-Face. And is still our Ring of Honor Forever Women's Champion. And that's pretty much it for that. And, yeah. We move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Deadline is just starting. So I'm going to get into that. I would assume one of the Iron Survivor matches will start the show. Hoping the women end the show, but we'll see what happens with that. Ricky Starks and Oba is opening... Ricky and Oba is opening the show, I forgot. So that match is going to be epic, just to start us off. And then, probably going to go into one of the Iron Survivor matches. Cool down with, probably the North American title match. And then, 2 more matches after that, so a 5-match card. So, I think the men or the women are going to end the show. probably the men, but, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But it should be a great pay-per-view, and like I said, we'll talk about it tomorrow, right here on the channel, and that's all I gotta say about that. Alright guys, I'm out of here, so Final Battle 2025 is in the books, and now we look to 2026 for Ring of Honor, and we move on. So, final rating for Final Battle, I give it a standard 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of Final Battle down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, have a great rest of your Saturday night. I will be back after Deadline with your official SmackDown review over on my main channel, Killer Demon 669. And that'll probably be it for the weekend. And we got a couple more videos tomorrow with Deadline. We also got Dynamite and Collision. And that'll probably finish this off tomorrow. And then Monday, we got Raw on Netflix. So kind of hopefully go back to a regular schedule. And we'll see what happens with that. But only a few more videos to come, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 more weeks to go, and then I am taking the rest of the year off after Christmas. Bye. I'll be gone for about a week. I will be back as soon as the ball drops on January 1st, 2026. I'll come back really quickly with a Happy New Year video, and then we'll talk about the year in review and get you ready for SmackDown. We will not do a TNA Ring of Honor review for January 1st, but we will be back with the first video, official videos after the New Year's video. We'll be back with official videos January the 2nd or 3rd, 2026. That'll be your SmackDown review, and then we'll get into the weekend and talk about Wrestle Kingdom, because I will be doing Wrestle Kingdom predictions probably that weekend of 2026. And then we'll do a review as always. And that's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace!